Are
I am here. What's going on?
not much, not much. Everything's going well. I got home, just chilling.
Mm.
It smell. It's really funny. I don't. I'm really the only one that vapes and smokes weed in the house.
Yeah.
So it was very like pleasant when I came in, and I could smell like the weed, like the strawberries, because that's what that's what the little
Your
vape.
vape of choice is strawberries.
No, my wife got like these like flavored vape little disposable things.
Yep.
One of them is strawberries. But what made me happy is that she doesn't use pot at all.
Okay.
Almost never, like
Mhm.
that little vape thing is probably gonna last her maybe till fall.
Oh, okay.
Whereas someone like me, I would have ran through that thing like in the first 3 days.
You're just like a fucking power vapor or what?
I a power vape. I'm just a functioning pothead.
Hmm.
It's like how would I say it? I need the coffee wakes me up and gets me motivated.
Yeah.
The weed basically takes what in my brain looks like an insane like root system of a tree, and it dwindles it down to the most important functions I need to do for the day.
Okay. Okay. I feel you. Okay. Gotcha. Nice. Cool.
But
So your wife is joining you on this now, or?
no, she always has. She's just not
Hmm.
like me.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Fair.
That's nice. But
Yeah.
let
You
me
wanted to talk about something. What
yeah,
was this
yeah.
you wanted to say?
Um well, actually, first let me back up. Today was one of the weirdest days closing because
Yeah.
we were like way ahead. We were so far ahead with the cleaning and the closing that
Yeah.
I was doing something else. Like, have you ever like I was stuck doing like cleaning out the fryers,
Mm.
and everyone else was sweeping and mopping. So by the time I finished, I was like, okay, time to do the sweeping and mopping and all that. But they had already
Yeah.
done it. By the
Fuck.
time like I was done, we were no, it's not a bad thing. It wasn't that I took too long. It's just like our new closing system has just gotten we've just gotten so good at it that
Oh,
we
good.
got
Okay.
out
Cool.
like 30 minutes before we normally do. I mean, I'm
Oh,
usually off by 10:30. Today we were off by like 10.
damn.
Like
Nice.
I was there talking, waiting on them, and it turns out that they had already left. I'm like, oh, okay.
You're just like talking to yourself, like, "Hey
I
guys,
was
we're doing this together," and
I was talking to
yeah.
the manager, and he was grabbing his things to leave. And in my head, I'm like, okay, you're gonna leave, and then I'm gonna go check in with with the crew. And
Mm.
then he's like, so are you gonna stay or are you gonna go? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I realized that everyone had left.
Are you sleeping here tonight? Wasn't planning on it.
I
No.
I, I gotta go talk to Chris, but I wasn't planning on it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I had planned.
Nice.
No, but anyway, the reason I thought about the topic we're talking about today
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
so I'm doing one of my favorite things to do on the line, and that is
Mm.
just training new employees.
Yeah.
Because I just feel that I'm pretty good at communicating with someone, especially this guy hasn't cooked in 5 years. I don't know how
Okay.
old he is. He might be like 22, 21. But
Okay.
anyway, like he worked at like an Italian restaurant as a prep cook. This was
Hmm.
like 5 years ago.
Yep.
Then he was at one of our local pizza chains
Okay.
that we have in town, and then he just did like Uber Eats and or just odd jobs here and there,
Mm.
But he kind of just for him it was like it's nearby. Like one of the coolest things about the place that I work at is that one it's in my town where I live. You
Yep.
here the restaurant scene, like the main particular one where I live, everyone has to drive to the next town over,
Oh, really?
or
Okay.
2 or 3 next towns over. It depends. My community is more suburbs. It's more suburbs
Ah.
and commerce, and
Yeah.
not heavy on actual restaurants.
Gotcha.
But this place, they started off as like a banquet service, and then slowly built up a restaurant, and now it's like a nice little local. It's very hidden because it's located inside of an abandoned Hewlett Packard building. Hewlett Packard
Okay.
used to have a
I'm
building
trying to
there.
picture this. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck
okay,
is?
okay. So think of like a Hewlett Packard building, right? Big
Yeah, yeah.
parking lot, big spaces, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
In the past 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
slowly, like I don't know who owns it, has been basically like turning sections of the building into commercial businesses. Like
Okay.
until
Okay.
me working here, I didn't realize that there's a whole high school here. There's a place
The
that like
high school.
that sells like custom tea blends. So like if you're really into tea and your
Nice.
leaves and blends, there's a spot
For
for
all
it
your
too.
tea needs. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then there's our spot, which again it looks like office, which makes sense because it holds business meeting. Your the local mayor and wherever they come
Mm-hmm.
here and eat and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's nice. I like it. It's really cool. We have a big space out in the back, so we can have like actual concerts.
Mm-hmm.
We hold the kind of concerts like where, let's say, the artist won't put on their official tour list. So we're more
Mm-hmm.
like in between tour dates, they'll go into this little spot just because it's a little more closed off. You can fit maybe like I feel like it's a 100 people, which
Okay.
seems like a lot, but it's actually very small. And it's really cute. We hosted the town's local 420 event, and that was a
Nice.
lot. That was a lot of fun just because of the
Cool.
different businesses that came in, a lot of DIY people, the food. Everyone was a little mixed feelings because I guess there was a vegan taco truck. And everyone missed the part about it being vegan. So like the entire kitchen skipped. They're like, we're not gonna do family meal.
Ah.
Let's go get some tacos. And
It
I,
was
I
vegan, and you're like, oh,
I
all
left.
right.
I left because I didn't want to really like participate in that,
Yeah.
and I didn't know it was vegan.
You're like,
Every
ethically, I don't want to support vegans.
Yeah, I can't do that. It goes against my beliefs. But no,
Yeah.
I'm not a big like events kind of person. I
Yeah.
can in the right setting, but after work, I'm just too strung up. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get anxious about it. So I went home, but apparently, like yeah, they got their vegan tacos and just went back to the kitchen and then cook some meat for themselves,
Sweet.
and so it all worked out. But anyway, I'm training this new guy. It's a lot of fun. It's my favorite thing to do. Um, and then we just get talking, and it's so interesting because he was telling me like one of the things at the pizza place that he was at, he was the kitchen manager there. Like he was, I guess, the chef
Okay.
there. And
Yeah.
he's in his 20s, so I'm wondering like how difficult that is or stuff like that. But whatever, that's another conversation. But he said that like one of the first instances that he was sort of like this is kind of fucked up, like what the fuck, was
Mm.
he was starting to train like not other like kitchen managers, he was starting to train store managers across different restaurants. And
Okay.
so what bothered him about that is like how come I'm training the people above me how to do my job and their job, and I'm still getting paid like
Yeah.
a
That
cook's wage. And
that's some
by the
horse shit.
way,
Yeah.
the cook's wage was pretty fucking low
Okay.
for a cook's wage. So it's
Mm.
still, I would say, still in the teens. I would say anything by the hour that's in the teens is absolute low. You're like no, like I'm gonna go as far as say that I just don't care what state or country you're well, not country, but what state you're in. I just feel like anything in the teens, nah, you should be making like easily in your 20s, like by the
Yeah.
hour. I don't
Yeah,
know what
but
they.
you're also in California, so the cost of living is quite high and all this. So.
Well, I mean, it's high, but it doesn't reflect that with the pay. I mean, you're still getting some cooks are still getting paid like 15 or 18
Oh
an
fuck.
hour.
Okay.
And even in the last place,
Mm.
they're known for being this great company, but they again they're another company that doesn't pay their employees well. In fact,
Right.
their only solution to avoiding pay more is we'll just do a tip pool. That's it. The servers will, and it's fucked up because it's based on sales. So if you're working in one of the less busier kitchens, you're
Yeah.
making like $60 into that tip pool, you know. but they'll like post it up like, dude, you guys made an additional $1 an hour last paycheck. It's like, homie, no one's getting excited for that.
Nothing pisses me off more than managers getting super jazzed about something that doesn't fucking matter, and they got this fake fucking like, come on guys, this is great. You're like, fuck off, man. Like, this is shit nothing. Like,
like coming back from the pandemic after being like locked
yeah,
down, and and it's like you're not getting any customers, but they're so pumped as if like, no, this is it.
they're coming, guys. They're coming.
Feel it. This is the one. It's been 3 months, but I think this is the one. Yeah, it gets a little annoying.
You're like, okay, man, get it. I got it.
But what I related back to him was I've been in that situation where, like, I know a guy, and he was a lead. He wasn't a very good lead. He just, he the perception of what a chef was kind of fogged his view. Right. So what I mean by that, just someone that thinks like, hey, I'm in a kind of a leadership position. That means I can do less. I can just dilly-daddle and talk to management. I can now delegate all the work to the cooks, and I can take my 2 smoking breaks back to back. And he was just a wreck, but he was a nice person.
Yeah.
And so management and we, a lot of the cooks and chefs felt the same way, is that they used his want to like be promoted, because once he got demoted, he wasn't going to get promoted again. He thought he was, and they did play games with him about like, yeah, sure, if you go to this kitchen, and that's what it was. It was like, if you go to this kitchen, we're looking for a sous chef, go there and just show yourself. Okay, that one didn't work out. Some other guy got sued. Okay, well, if you go to this kitchen, we're going to be opening up really soon. I think you have a really good shot, and it just and they're just moving this guy around left and right. Not only do they demote him, they move him around from kitchen to kitchen. Pandemic hits, right? They call him back again. They work this guy into like, no, you're going to be sued, blah blah blah. Only to when finally things start getting slow, he's the first one they let go.
Wow.
Fuck, man. Like, yeah. And then I think
loyalty is really cool until it isn't.
Oh, no. But we are not ones to preach to them about loyalty. I can't. Right. Who am I to talk about loyalty to the executive chef? No, not him. He took the time to talk to me in the office several times and shit like that. And then same thing with me, where it's like, fuck, man. It's like 1 minute you're training me to be sous chef, 1 minute you're training me to lead. One day I was lead, and then one day I found out that I just wasn't lead. That I had it.
It just happened.
It happened in a meeting, and no one had told me this, and then it had been months. I was just a cook.
Okay.
But I was doing all the work that you do as a lead. I was doing everything as a lead, Okay. And then, I come, and then it's like, I'm talking, one of the things that I encourage, like in my videos, is be fucking open about how much you're making. Like, don't be shy about it. Just split. It turns out, as the lead, as the third position, I'm making like less money than a lot of the other cooks, which again, I'm happy for them. But for me, it's like, don't you think as a manager, you should be making more? Even as an assistant manager, you should be making more than a fucking cook. Don't you think that there should be like a tier system?
Yeah.
Like, I think a cook, no disrespect to anyone in the back house, but I think a cook should be making more than, say, a prep cook. Definitely more than a dishwasher. Yeah. But can you imagine you're a cook, you're busting your ass just to find out that like 2 of the other cooks are making more than you, plus the prep and the dishwasher's making more than you?
I think the same, and you're like, oh, it's just some burnout kid who's 17, just wants to fucking get high and steal their parents' booze and shit. And you're like,
as soon as the chef leaves, they go on their smoke break, leave, and it's like, fuck, man. And so I could relate to that. And so so I know what I've seen it. People just like get pushed around. It's experience to me. But yeah, the reason I wanted to bring it up is because I was curious, like, have you been in a situation like that, or have you seen a situation like that? It's got to be a thing. It seems like it's a thing if this kid's bringing it up.
Well, like the place I'm in now, the pay is considered low in the industry, and like we're or like within the city, and you know we're having an issue finding cooks because the rumor has gotten around and the industry knows it's a relatively small town. It's like 200 and I don't know 70,000 people or whatever here, and like the community's small, and they know we kind of don't pay that well. It we have a new I don't know what to call it, what his title is, but like a food and beverage guy who's supposed to kind of move the company forward. So he's moving for us getting higher wages and stuff now, getting paid overtime, blah 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 blah. These things. So this is the stuff that's kind of working right now at the moment. But you like, I don't like it when oh yeah we hire cooks at this rate or whatever, or uh I don't know. This is the hiring rate, and then we pay you. We'll pay you more in 3 months or 6 months or whatever the hell. Like, oh, when are we gonna have that meeting? You know, I'm busy this week. Maybe next week.
How the fuck are you busy to like talk to
Yeah,
an employee? Like,
yeah,
homie, I saw you smoke a cigarette. Don't
yeah.
give me
But
that shit.
that's a thing, right? Like, it's always that kind of thing, right? So, I mean, I'm not unhappy. The thing is, like, when I talk about wage, I am not unhappy with my wage at the moment. I wish I was making a little bit more, and I probably could at a different place. But there's some things in play where I'm kind of moving up in the company anyway. But uh, when it comes to like wage and stuff, I'm not money hungry in any sort of way. And I think like if you chase dollars and cents, like you're in the wrong industry anyway. If you're like, if you're well, like one place will offer you $1 more, and it's like you know you're shifting left and right, and you're just a hired gun. I think it's a little. You're probably doing the wrong thing.
But in that situation, you wouldn't know until you're in that kitchen.
True. Yeah.
Because I
I
mean,
mean, I don't like when they don't tell you not to fucking. You can't talk about your wages. Like fuck you. I'm gonna.
I think you should. I think like you
Yeah.
should just go in there at some point. I feel at some point your coworkers should know how much you're making and how much you are making. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's not about them and it's not about you. Like I'm not going to be mad because you're making more than me. No, it's like I have to look at myself and then I have to have a conversation with the management, with my chef or sous chef. If I don't agree with that, or if there's like, hey, what the fuck's going on, dude? I'm putting in more work or I'm working
Yeah.
less out. You know?
I think. Well, I mean, cooking. It's not like Hollywood in terms of like you know anything else other than this, but you know. You go in a lot of times, and I don't know what it's like in the States, but you're kind of negotiating your wage within the parameters of what they deem acceptable because everyone goes in with that like you know like when cops pull you over it's like do you know how fast you were going. Nope, no idea.
I didn't even know I was
Don't
speeding.
incriminate yourself, don't say shit. Nope,
Yeah.
I have no idea. They're like oh how much do you want to be making, and you know say you hit the low end of what they're offering, they're like yep that sounds fine. They're never gonna offer you like oh we were thinking like more you know $28 an hour or whatever. You're like yeah, the 17 is great. Yeah. But I mean, it shouldn't be that way. It should be like a standardized thing across the board where the industry says, you know, so and so experience, so and so school involved or whatever. You should be making this. You should be making that. You know, like in Norway, for instance, we have across the board. It's not just cooking, but like everything has is set by the government on you know based on education, based on hours spent in your industry, how much you should be getting paid. Uh, and there's like I wouldn't say it's unionized, but it's kind of preset, and the range is set. So it's kind of uh, yeah, you live within those parameters. So, but in Canada, it's just like whatever I can get away with. I'm sure it's the same in the States. You know, so like
So
whatever
more.
you're okay with and whatever I'm okay with, we'll just do it.
So it's almost more unionized in Europe.
Yeah, I wouldn't say unionized because there are unions, but like the unions help set the standard for what the government allows or doesn't allow businesses to pay their employees.
Hmm.
Yeah, because like they can go online and see, okay, so and so years experience, this is what they should be getting. Uh, every industry has it, like engineers, doctors, you know, down to like retail workers and stuff. Everything's kind of set within a certain range parameter. So it's not just, back home where it's a negotiation, but realistically they're gonna fucking gouge you for as much as they can, and you just accept it or you don't, whatever. Yeah.
I guess playing devil's advocate in my
Hmm.
head, I'm thinking like, well, I mean, depending on like the ingredients, the kind of food you're serving,
Hmm.
the restaurant has to cut corners, you know, what all
Yeah.
while preserving the customer experience.
Hmm.
So you're not gonna like cut corners as far as like front of house presentation. And definitely not on food. In fact, you might even pay more money just to have like the next door butcher. I mean, if you can get a good deal, that's great, but it's like,
Hmm.
I mean, organic is definitely more expensive to buy than regular, the
Yeah, of
non-organic
course.
thing, you know. But
Yeah, I
and then
agree.
it just ends up with like the cook. So it's like we take the brunt of that, you know.
Yes, I mean labor is the single most expensive thing in a restaurant.
Labor's
Labor's huge,
it
you
just
know.
fucking sucks. It puts me at a kind of like a crossroads because it's like once I put it like that, I'm like, yeah, I can see what it means, and it makes sense why some great fucking restaurants
Hmm.
pay shit. It makes a lot of
Yes.
sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then but then simultaneously, I almost feel like, what? I mean, do we really need to be putting food on this sort of pedestal?
Mm.
Like, I know this whole love, food, respect, but it's like at what? I mean, its value is more than my ability to make a living.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So like, I completely agree, and I'm always on the fence about this whole thing because I think across the board, chefs and cooks should get paid more than they do because we are craftsmen like anybody else, like somebody who makes furniture or whatever, like somebody who works with their hands and sells a product. We are in that league, especially we're culturally significant when it comes to people's social lives. Like so we should get paid more based on history, like getting paid $13. Like when I first started, at least in Canadian, I think I was paid maybe $12 an hour or some shit, and like that's you can't
When
fucking live. As 14 years ago or something, you know.
$12 an hour.
Yeah, or
So
11 something.
what year was that? For
Uh, when did I start cooking?
2011? No,
Yeah, I don't know.
2008, something like that. No, but
Yeah.
the reason why I asked that's crazy 12 because when I started with the last company,
Hmm.
I was making $18 an hour,
Hmm.
and then when I joined this company, they wouldn't they wouldn't take me for anything over $13 an hour.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's like fucking hell. I had to take like a what is it, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, a $5 pay cut
Yeah.
just to
Yeah, and
join
that's
this
huge.
restaurant. God damn.
And that's fucking huge. I mean, like when it comes to, the inflation thing, and I'm not an economist, I'm not a smart person when it comes to this shit,
Wait,
but
hold on, you're not.
I am not, and I'm gonna preface this because there's a lot of people on
Mm.
Twitter and social that just go like, I'm an expert on everything. I'm not an expert on everything, but I can rationalize things like, okay, inflation will always happen, but at a certain point, you can't just keep giving people cost of living increases and somebody's been at a restaurant forever and all of a sudden they're getting paid like $50 an hour at a restaurant. That will never happen. Like there's a kind of a break even point. I don't know what kind of graph that would be, but there's basically a break even point when it comes to paying staff. You can't just pay everyone like $35 an hour, like some really woke lefties will yell about. Like there has to be, like, for instance, like soup, right? Like a pho broth, the whole process could take like 2 days to kind of do, 2.5 days to do, and you're not going to sell that bowl for any more than probably $15, you know,
I'm gonna
because
tell
the
you right now, I'm
perception.
not gonna give you 15 cents for a bowl of soup.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, you're the soup guy, right? Sorry, I forgot. But you're the fucking soup guy. Like, you know what? Fuck you. Ah, okay, whatever. Like a pastrami sandwich or whatever, right?
Perfect.
Okay, you know, you're not gonna sell that for any more than like, $15 or something in deli, or I don't know what the costs are in the States, but something like that. Because the perception is it's just a fucking sandwich. Yeah, but oh, we make the pastrami in house. It takes us fucking like 10, 12 days to get it done. And, we make it in house, we slice it, and, there's a big process with everything. We make our own bread and blah, blah, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's just a fucking sandwich, or it's just fucking soup. There's a break even point for how much you can fucking sell something based on the perception of what it is. Right. So, like, you can't just keep paying staff, 30, even just something within reach, like, $28, $30 an hour, where like the basic prep cook is making $30 an hour. No fucking way. No fucking way. I mean, and to be fair, it hurts me to say that, because like everyone should get a livable wage, but of course, livable is different depending on where you
Yeah,
live.
I wouldn't go. I think it's kind of a little nutty when people are like, hey, McDonald's workers,
Mm, mm.
be making like a living. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm still in that old school mentality where it's like, I think a high school kid should be working at McDonald's, making a
Yeah,
few bucks, getting
yeah.
some basic responsibility, habits going.
Hmm.
But it's like, but the reality is, we live in a world where some people, that's where they make their living, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
But but man, I'm thinking about this as it's happening. But I'm also thinking, like, it doesn't mean that bam, you get an immediate livable wage. I don't think a subway worker is honestly worth more than $15 an hour.
No,
If they're making more, good, God bless. But realistically, I wouldn't put them at that tier.
no.
To
A
me,
sandwich artist? No,
no.
no.
15 to me, yeah, I can't. I would say 15 an
Yeah,
hour, maybe for a private
maybe
local
16.
spot.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe
16.
16. I don't know, something like that. But
That's ridiculous.
I
But and
mean,
it,
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
but I mean, I mean, that's just the money aspect of it. I think that, but the whole thing that I wanted to talk about was just the getting fucking jerked around.
Yeah,
Like, hey, Chris, if you stay, do you feel that that might be happening to you? Like, are
the
you
fuck
a little
dangling the
weary?
carrot.
Because I mean, they are dangling the kid, or they want to give you a little spot. You want to talk about that? About the spot that
Uh,
they're proposing you?
yeah. I mean, yeah. So the thing is, like, I'm not a big fan of ownership, but I don't really have to deal with him all that much. And the thing is like, do I trust them? No, not really. But like, I see it more as like a good stepping stone kind of thing. And um, as I said before, uh, I'm nothing if not reasonable. And when it comes to a wage that I'll accept versus what other people in the city might ask for, I'm gonna be fairly reasonable. But only because I don't. It's not that I don't care about money, but I'm not doing this for money. It's a byproduct for me. As long as I'm not struggling, I don't really care. So, um, I mean, they're not. It's not like they're dangling this big fucking paycheck in front of me, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get that. It's more like a stepping stone for me to kind of build a network, to build my own place.
So for you, it's
After
more
that,
like
yeah,
get the position, and you can use that position as a leverage. Are you
yeah,
worried that they're just using that as a way to get you into another spot or to keep you there? Like, how do
um,
you know they're not just gonna? They're saying all this, and then you get there, and then it's like, you know what? Things aren't going as great as we thought it would. Just give us some time. We'll keep you here as maybe a lead, and then
yeah,
8 months down the road, guess what? You're not. But then, hey, you know what? Maybe in the third, we're opening up a third restaurant,
yeah.
Chris. We definitely will need a sous there.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know. It's fucking possible. Anything is possible. And in this industry, unfortunately, it's full of a bunch of fucking garbage people and pirates. So it's like, you know, you're sitting there like, okay, well, can I take you at face value? Probably fucking not. You know, especially management and ownership who has little to no experience in the actual industry and they're just business people. I don't trust a shit thing that comes out of your mouth.
I don't especially
Till I
trust
see it.
someone who has been in the industry and then becomes
That almost
management.
makes it worse, doesn't it? Yeah.
That makes it worse because they understand how to speak to you. They know what it's,
Yeah.
you know, a good chef that's become full-time management.
Mm.
And what? Because you put in a few hours, you know, you hang out in the kitchen once in a while. Nah,
Yeah.
dude, you know. But you do know how to fucking talk to your, but you do know how to keep them in line, how to keep them there,
Hmm.
and sell a dream. I think that's part of management. It's selling a dream.
I mean,
Maybe management is playing a longer game, and then like a chef and a front of house manager is just like a day to day thing, short term. You know.
yeah. I mean, I got spoiled. Like when I was coming up, uh, in my end of my apprenticeship, I went to this French bistro that was run and owned by a husband and wife team, and they like really instilled in us the idea of like your people are your best asset, and if you know you don't want to hang out with these people, if you don't want to have a beer or a meal with these people, then it's not worth it because you could have the most talented person in the world, but if they're a fucking prick, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So like, you know, for me, I've always come across in the industry as a person who treats people well to not a means to an end, but like just to be a decent fucking human being,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And
Yeah.
I think, you know, management style, like it's not I mean, of course you get in the business world, you have people that are legit business people that, you know, just conduct business and do their thing. And then you've got greasy car salesmen, you know, they still do sales, they're still doing marketing, but, you know, it's a little bit different kind of marketing and it's a different kind of sales. It's the same thing in the industry and management style. Like, you got greasy managers that are like, oh, you know, we're going to cut everyone's hours or like overwork a couple people, cut the expensive people out, and then I'm going to reap all these bonuses that the restaurant's going to slap back at me. But, you know, I'm not going to tell them that's why I'm doing it, but I'm going to do it, you know,
But I'm gonna do it.
but I'm going to do it and I'm going to get that bonus at the end of the year and I'm going to fucking live it up. You know, and thank you for your service. Yeah, that was really great. You donated all those hours. Thank you. Thank you. That was great. And like, I've worked for all types, you know. So, I mean, the problem with that type of manager is that it doesn't fucking go long term. Everyone quickly finds out you're a piece of shit and they don't want to work for you. You know, that simple as that.
Yeah, or you know, you spend time cultivating a culture and a system, and then
Mm.
you'll have enough people that'll do it for you.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
yeah,
true.
that's kind of where my odds and ends are about that. Like, especially when I think about like the last place I was at, because
Hmm.
it's like lately I've been like organizing the walk-in and stuff like that, and it kind of like makes me miss the old place I was at,
Yeah,
which happens to be the company. But then it's
right.
like I don't miss the company. I miss the kitchen. I miss the people. You know, there's
Yeah,
something about like you. I look at an old picture of a walk-in and I'm like, ah, oh, yeah. You know, I remember what it was like when we didn't need a sign to let us know that we need to like label things and date things. You know.
yeah. A sign to remember to date things, guys. Like
Well, I
what?
mean, you know, when you're in a more advanced established kitchen where it's like you don't need a cook. It's like, hey, can you show me how to dice?
Yeah. I mean, I say this with as much respect as it can sound like. Like you're talking about working in a real kitchen as opposed to more of a
Beginner's kitchen. That's what I call it. Like
yeah.
it's a real kitchen, but it's like you know, it's just like the menu isn't that complex. You're doing a couple components in a dish.
Yeah.
Um, the stuff that's being ordered is already mostly pre-made, you know, so you're not
Right.
doing a lot of from scratch things.
Yeah. Do
There's
you
a
guys
place.
like buy the pre-cut onions in a bag kind of thing, or
No, we actually
okay,
do the onions there. So like for
cool.
instance, the things that we actually do like pre would be like our eggs. We both have the
The
egg.
yolks and the white and the cartons.
No, we have the box of yolks. It's
Yeah.
like a bag. So we have bags of yolks as well as just regular eggs.
Oh yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen a bag of yolks. And we have like bags of potato chips that are
Yeah.
frozen. I It's been a while. I'm used to just like, okay, I have to go fucking slice an entire box of potatoes with the mandolin, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of just stuff I'm used to. Or like I remember having to do ranch, right, for like a blue topping. You need like 15 of the little packets with a couple of gallons of. It's just again, like I'm not knocking it. It's
Yeah.
just I reminisce now of days where it's like, oh, I'm going to do ranch, and that's cool because I'm about to do this shit from scratch,
Yeah.
and it's going to
Yeah.
have like different twists to it, things that like will make an elevated ranch.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I've just been thinking about that, and yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to miss it a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't miss the whole like, oh, like the care. Man, every fucking kitchen of that caliber just has a lot of that, and it's so annoying. Like, why can't you just be straightforward with people? You know?
We're not really. We're not really. It's weird because we're straightforward people, but then when it comes to like the actual management and the business side of it, we're fucking. We're all just fucking pieces of shit. Just. I don't know why. I don't know why the industry's so bad for that. Like, even chef-run businesses, and sometimes it's worse because then the back of house gets pushed to the front instead of the front of house. They're like second-class citizens, and there's all types of like situations that come up, and I don't know, man. It's a weird industry. It's a weird business structure. It, Realistically, it doesn't make any sense.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like we both came at a really weird time of it because
Mhm.
it's like a post-COVID world kitchen. It's like a clash between the old and the new.
Yeah, imagine being an apprentice that came up through COVID and like never saw what it was like before.
Ever.
And
Yeah.
that would be super fucking weird. Like I don't imagine, like, I'm not saying that they're softer or anything. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious, but it's not softer in like
No,
a
but you know what?
derogatory term. It's more like they expect more from the industry, and that's good.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. There's
Yeah.
accountability to be had on both sides, and
Yes.
one side has had it for enough time. I don't want to say
Yes.
too long, but
Yes.
chefs, you've had your time. You've had your moment to yell and throw a hissy fit. Your shit,
Yes.
you looking fucking serious with your arms crossed doesn't make you look fucking tough. You look like a
I
fucking
love it when
pussy.
you hold. I love it when you hold your knife crossed armed and you're looking all tough.
Like, bro,
It's
you do
great.
not look tough, being like 50 pounds overweight and
Mm.
gently picking off fucking micro leaves from fucking
Mhm.
fig tree. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Chill out.
Yeah.
Chill out, Gordon.
Gordon, go make your grilled cheese,
Go
Gordon.
make your grilled cheese. Well, go learn how to make a grilled cheese, Gordon. You've been
He
out of the game
actually,
for too long.
yeah, you should go on YouTube and find out how to make grilled cheese.
I mean, he knows how to break down a chicken blindfolded.
Yeah, fillet of
That
salmon blindfolded or whatever.
that's a good part of
Yeah,
the trick. I think
yeah,
that's another thing. A lot of people that aren't back of house should definitely know that not all. I mean, I don't think there's a cook that can do everything. Like Gordon
no,
Ramsay will highlight the things he's really good at,
yeah,
but it's like it's so satisfying. Not like I'm not trying to knock the guy, but it's like it's satisfying when I see him fuck up because it's like, yeah, Gordon, you're good, but chill the fuck out. Like, did you see the one
yeah.
where he's making food for like some monks? and it's like I forgot what it is, but like he shows like this Asian chef, he tries it. He's like, "No, man, this is not the traditional dish. You fucked it up." Like he
Oh,
was
the
not
pad thai thing.
the pad thai. He's like, "No, this is not pad thai."
Yeah. He's like, this is not pad thai. He's like, what?
Gordon just like skimmed through it, like that conversation didn't happen. He's like, "Oh, that's unfortunate." Anyway, let's go move on now. No, no, no. Let's talk about this, Gordon.
This isn't spicy peanut butter noodles, you fucking UK fuck. Don't come to Thailand and tell us how to make pad thai. It's like,
That
yeah, well,
that's like British people telling you how to do curry.
yeah,
Or that's like Californians telling you how to do tacos.
yeah. I mean, fuck, dude. Like, that's the one thing. That's the one tip that I can tell people when they're accessing cooks or chefs and like, oh, what's your specialty? What's your, what do you love to cook? Or, can you tell me about this thing? You're like, nope, I don't know. Well, aren't you a cook? Yeah, but there's a million things in the cookery world that like I've never touched. A million things. I know very little to nothing about Indian cooking.
Yeah, exactly. Like my
Like
chef used to make that for
no
family.
idea.
It was so good. I don't know how to make a fucking curry. Like what even like is curry like a blend of sea? I don't know any of that. I would love to,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But there's tons of shit that like some people, and I had to kind of come to terms with this, right? Because I had quite I wouldn't say classical background coming up, but like a lot of French classics, a lot of bistro classics. I took for granted that everyone should just know this shit. No, not everybody knows this shit, especially here in Norway. Like nobody knows this shit. So I have to.
Does Norway
Years ago, I found out I had to be patient about it. Yeah.
does Norway follow like a French culinary style, like mother sauce, shit like that? Or are you guys just off in your own world?
No, it's a mixture. It's kind of they have their own version of sauces and things that are sort of French based, but it's mostly because it has cream in it, kind of thing. The
Mm.
Norwegian food cultures. I mean, it's coming along and it's a lot better in Oslo, but it's when compared to like Denmark, for instance, where they're world famous for just kind of reinventing their cuisine and really diving deep into it. Norway has by and large stayed the same. They like their very simple food and they're very meat and potatoes people.
Is Denmark like of all the Nordic countries? Are they like the main ones? Is that the main like in Latin America? It's
Yeah,
Mexico.
right,
You know,
right.
is
People
that
think Latin America, they're like Mexico. Yeah, but there's a lot of us here. But Mexico.
yeah? Like
Okay.
I'm Salvadorian. Like people, like a lot of Americans just think it's like United States, Mexico, and water. They
Yeah,
disregard Belize, Guatemala. They don't know. They're
yeah.
like, oh,
You
you're
tell people like,
Salvadorian.
"Where's El Salvador on the map?" If they point to
Hmm.
Mexico, you're like, "Fuck you."
Is that a state in Mexico? What state in
Yeah.
Mexico is that? It's like, oh
Where's
god.
that? Is that in the south? Is that in Oaxaca? Yeah, yeah, it's in
Yes,
Oaxaca.
it's a suburb of Oaxaca.
Yeah, yeah. Of course. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna dump on the Norwegian people. The thing is they're a little bit behind, right? Like food culture wise, yeah, Denmark in the Nordic region is kind of like the capital. Like
Okay.
Copenhagen is kind of the capital when it comes in the Nordic region. But a lot of that had to do with Noma and everyone kind of riffing off of what Noma has done for the last 15 years or whatever.
Uh huh.
And it kind of rose the bar. Sweden's better, but they tend to like absorb more like Japanese fusion with Swedish ingredients kind of thing, and there's a bunch of other stuff going on that way.
Swedes
Um,
like Asian.
no, yeah, yeah. There's quite
That's
a
their
lot of
thing.
like yeah, well, yeah. There's quite a lot of fusion going on basically.
Okay. Okay.
So like they've moved on in a different way, where Denmark kind of reinvented what they already had in their repertoire, but just kind of brought it up into this century. But Norway is kind of lagging behind in terms of
It lacks an
moving.
identity, a food identity. You think?
Kind of, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Okay, I mean that's not that's fair. I don't think you're knocking on them. I think you've
No.
lived there long enough that you can have an opinion, have a critique
Hmm.
about it.
Hmm.
Um, what do you? Okay, so like, I mean, that's interesting. What do you think that would need to be done for them to bring it in? Like, do you see things here, like guys, like you guys have this amazing food or
Hmm.
ingredients or a passion for other culture? Is there something you think Norway could do to get there? To maybe be like top three, let's say.
Hmm. You know, like Norway has some really spectacular raw ingredients, and there's yeah, for every meal, it's said that like you need potatoes on the table. Every meal's got potatoes, like
Oh my
you know,
hell
Chinese
yeah.
households have rice, that kind of thing.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so it's the thing is I how do I say anyone over like 50 or 60, yeah, maybe 60 and above, they are very old fashioned. They just like their, steamed cod, boiled veggies, potatoes, because those kind of people, 70-year-olds and stuff, they still remember the fucking time when Norway was poor, before they had the oil, before the country was fucking rich. So like they're still in that kind of mentality, to and the eating is quite conservative. So I think as time goes on, like the younger people are more excited about different flavors. Unfortunately, the Western world is kind of seeping in, so there's more and more like McDonald's and shit, which is not wonderful to see, but that's the way it goes. Um,
That what you're saying reminds me of I don't know if you remember the name.
mm,
It was an episode of Chef's Table, and
mhm.
it was the one. It was I think it's the only guy from Russia, and I just remember like the
Uh,
intro. He's talking about just about like Soviet Union food, like the
yeah.
poor shit people would eat. But
Hmm.
then they're talking about then it switches to food critics talking about how he's taking traditionally like gutter people food and then
Hmm.
bringing it into these exquisite, elegant like kitchens and just make it basically elevated like borscht and shit like that. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, it sounds like something like that, you know. It's and potatoes, man. I don't know, man. I know a lot of people that could just live off of potatoes.
I mean, I
Potatoes.
I love potatoes, so that's
That's an
fine.
amazing. That's an amazing like main dish to have. Like,
Yeah.
and then that's a good example, like the way you said with rice and Japanese.
Yeah.
Um,
Like for instance, okay, like for instance, like fårikål. It's called fårikål. It just means like lamb and cabbage, basically. It's literally like you take pieces of lamb meat, layer it with some cabbage, like a head of cabbage that you kind of chop up into bigger chunks, and then peppercorns, and you just layer that, and then you cover it in water and you boil it till it's all done, and that's like Norway's technically national dish. And I'm like, I always think there's so many different ways to make this better, but like, you know,
dude, you should do that. That
yeah,
sounds
I have
so
done riffs on
cool.
things. Yeah, I have done riffs on things, but it's more like for my own kind of discovery.
That sounds
Um,
hella cool, dude. Like yeah,
mm,
like again, I know nothing about. When I think of Norwegian countries, I think of them as like countries with money and isolated like North Korea. Because it's like most of you guys are just. I feel like I'm under this impression that like
yeah,
the Nordic countries are like super neutral, probably because I'm thinking of Sweden, but it's just like
yeah,
neutral countries, very passive. All the stereotypes are just very passive, are just passive
uh,
people, which I could be wrong. Oh, and of course, the only thing when I think of Norway, I only think of
mhm,
one thing. The
mhm.
one thing I think about when I think of Norway is Norwegian black metal, and
Yeah,
it almost takes me everything not to just like unconsciously turn this podcast into a black metal podcast where I just ask you a billion questions. I'm like,
I wouldn't
and
know
so
anything about that.
exactly. I'd ask you about like these remote churches. It's like, did it get rebuilt?
Well, I mean, if
Did you
you
this?
if you want to Google it, it's called a stav church, STAV church, and they look like there's very old, like 1,000-year-old churches that look like a death metal band was explained to somebody by the Catholics how to make a church, and they're just these big, menacing, like Viking-esque Catholic churches that are all over the country, and they're pretty fucking black metal. Like the one in my girlfriend's town is like it's covered in this black tar, so it's this big black like
That
menacing
is
looking
so
church.
fucking badass. Send me
Yeah,
a
you see
picture of
it. Yeah.
that next time you're around it, dude.
Uh,
That sounds amazing. Are these like do they belong to like the major churches, or are these like community churches that have been
they're
around?
mostly used for like special events now at this point, because like
Oh, really?
when they were
Oh,
when they were made, they were like, they could only house, I don't know, 30, 40 people. Sometimes they were like countryside churches and stuff.
so you can host your next Sweet 16 at a black metal church.
I mean, me and my girlfriend, we wanted to get married at one. We thought it would be fucking hilarious.
It would be great. You should.
We're just like, oh yeah, this is great. This is
All the
amazing.
guests, everything has to be black except the bride and groom will be like white and whatever color you want to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this to you, and I'll show you. This is the Stav Church. I realize it's not great for a podcast, but whatever. That's the Stav Church.
Shit.
Yeah. So like it just sits, and there's a graveyard beside it and all this shit. With 300-year-old gravestones and all sorts of stuff.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Mm-hmm.
That is gonna be the cover of this episode.
Just crop that and like boom.
I'm gonna crop that black and white beyond the pass.
Oh.
That is
like my girlfriend's dad's house, and coincidentally the parents' house, her grandparents, is on a Viking burial mound. Like they discovered like treasure in the mound, because they didn't bury them in burials. There was like kind of hills that they would bury them in with treasure and stuff. So there was rings and stuff found. So she has a replica ring of what was found in her hometown and stuff. And there's a lot of that kind of stuff.
Everyone has a lot of deep history. Like she can trace her family back generations.
Yeah. Probably at least 7 or 8. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's something as an immigrant that I cannot have ever. That sounds fucking amazing.
And I tell people like, oh, because here people make fun like, oh, you're half Polish. I'm like, yeah, I'm half Polish, but like I don't have any, I think it's mostly an American thing usually. I don't know. We don't normally go like, oh, I'm Polish Canadian.
You guys don't turn your heritage into fractions?
No, not. I mean, some do. Some like Ukrainians do a lot of times. Like they're like, we're Ukrainian. Like I don't know, you're Canadian, but
I'm telling you right now,
right.
after this war, they're Ukrainian.
That's true. That's actually a really bad example. Probably like, yep, we are all Ukrainian. Yes.
Yes. I dare you, Chris, to say no. We're not.
No, I would never. Although to be fair, Ukraine is doing an amazing job at fucking up Russia.
Yeah, they are.
Which is great to see. Actually, no one wants to see like little Ukraine get bullied, but no, Ukraine's holding their own, which is I'm happy to see actually, because fuck Russia. Sorry, any Russian listeners. I don't know if we have any, but
90% of our viewership is Russian. Comes from the Russian Federation.
I see. Yeah,
we're one of the few channels that isn't censored by Russian media.
Huh? How lucky are we?
We are so lucky. So we got this corner. We got the shit in the bag.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone in Russia listening to this. I think you guys are amazing. I think it's really cool. I love your architecture.
I like what you do. I love the Tetris game.
I hope one day I can have borscht. It sounds delicious. I don't know what else. Vodka.
Yeah, pierogies, I guess, in certain parts. A lot of dumplings.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
Cabbage. I don't know. I don't. Again, like yeah. Russian food. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm assuming they all just eat
The world is
caviar
too
and
big,
fucking
man.
whatever.
The world is too big. Like
Yeah.
it's
When people
and it
come to us and they're like, "Oh, what do you know about this?" Nothing. Nothing. I know
I
nothing
think it's
about it.
even worse when you say you don't know
Yeah.
and then you can tell that it bothers them. Like
Yeah.
somehow
Like
you're a
you're less
fucking
of a cook.
yeah, it's like fuck, sorry. Like sorry I'm not passionate about sushi and ramen. Like I don't know how to do the cuts. I don't my knife is
Yeah.
not equipped for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just nah, man.
Like, is it pork and beef bones in the broth, or is it just pork, or is it? I have no idea. I don't
It's
know.
panda, of
It's
course. If you're gonna do it the traditional way, it's panda.
as long as it's not red pandas, because they're fucking adorable.
Yeah, red panda. Have you seen Red Panda or
What?
Turning Red on Disney
What's turning?
Plus?
Oh, is that the big weird red panda following people around? I
Yeah,
I I don't know. I haven't seen it. No, I saw the like the quick little trailer when you buzz by it, and it's this. I don't know. He looks scared doing whatever he's doing.
she looks scared doing
What
whatever
is it
she's doing.
about? What is?
Red Panda is about a teen girl that discovers that her family uh, turns into a panda because one of
Uh,
her ancestors is like the sacred protector of red pandas.
okay,
And so she wished upon a spirit that she would become a panda because she loved red panda so much. So
right.
it just passed down from generation to generation. So she wakes up one day, which is really funny because when she wakes up, she's like freaking out in the bathroom, and her
Hmm.
mom makes this assumption that she's having her period. And so they're both kind of like freaking out about two different things, but they're not
Ah,
aware. But anyway, it's just a good family movie. But anyway, and
cool.
the movie is just it's basically um trying to find a line between pleasing your family but yet keep being yourself,
Ah, nice.
you know.
Cool.
And I think that's what we ought to be doing is it's cool to be about the team. I
Yeah.
respect that. The dream, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Dream,
Hmm.
I think instead of selling a dream, you ought to just inspire. I feel inspired when I'm around like cooks that are way better than me, and you could just tell like, oh fuck, okay, we're not fucking around here. It's
Yeah.
just it puts you in. It's like a fight or flight, and for me, it's like I want to fight to earn my spot there.
Sure.
But that's when they'll start. That's when you got to be careful and just watch out for little things. Whether it's like, hey, am I getting paid enough? Am I doing too much?
Hmm.
Or are they just, man, they're saying that they're going to be doing these things, this or that for me, but nothing happens. So I mean, it's just really easy
Yeah.
to exploit passions, man. People do it all the time.
It's a balancing act. It's deal with what you feel you can deal with, and then move on.
At the end of the day, dude, it's just a job. I'm
Yeah.
so happy to work with the people that I work, but if like they have to leave, it's like I understand. And there's never going to be any bad blood. Like
Yeah.
you're
It helps that you, like you said, it's kind of a beginner kitchen, so you're kind of like, it's not to the same kind of standard
that
that
yeah, that's what
you're
I was
used
telling the
to.
kid. I'm like, listen, man, I'm gonna tell you how to do things. Like I'll tell you, but if like take it with a grain of salt. That's exactly what I told him. It's like take it with a
Yeah.
grain of salt, because like I tend to be more picky, and I kind of just told him the kind of kitchens I've worked at and stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
showed him a few things. It kind of just blew his mind, but
Okay.
which is
Nice.
always really fun when you do that to like a new cook. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I just told him it's like, no, you're in a perfect, great kitchen just to start off, learn, get some basics down.
Right.
And
Nice.
I think I'm going to be having a lot of fun with this guy.
Cool. No, that's good. It's a nice feeling to kind of help guide people, because I felt when I started in something that was more like it was a chain, it was a commercial kind of thing. It was more of a, how to say, we do it this way because it's in the manual kind of place. And I left because I needed more answers and no one could fucking give it to me. And
That's
it's
why that's a
nice.
great reason to leave.
Yeah.
And
I just need to learn more.
yeah, I
Mm.
think that's a really great way to finish this off. Yeah, that's what it is. It's you're looking for answers, and it doesn't matter how much you love a place. Sometimes
Mhm.
that place just doesn't have any more answers for you. It's time for you to go.